Good day, viewers. You're welcome to Prolific Online Mathematics. Today, we shall be looking at numbers. Last week, we treated signs in mathematics, importance of signs in mathematics. Today, we shall be looking at numbers and how we can use all these numbers in mathematics. As you can see, that mathematics is a subject of numbers. We deal with numbers, but we use words to interpret the numbers. So today, join me as we explore into the world of numbers and types of numbers that we have and how we can use them in mathematics effortlessly so that we will be able to solve as many as possible problems in mathematics. You are welcome. Once again, my name is Robert. Join me and you will enjoy yourself. God bless you. Shall we proceed? Numbers. As you can see, like I said earlier, that mathematics is a subject that deals with numbers. And many a times, people don't even know all these numbers and how they are being used in mathematics. We are going to be looking at them and we are going to be explaining them one after the other and put them into practice on how they are being used. You know, numbers. We have types of numbers. Let's look at type of numbers, types of numbers. Types of numbers. Number one, we are looking at the even numbers. Even numbers. Second one is odd numbers. And the third one is prime numbers. Each of these numbers have their types and there is a way we use them. And we are going to be treating them one after the other. The first one we are looking at is the even numbers. Even numbers. What are even numbers? Even numbers are numbers that can only be divided by 2, or you refer to them as multiples of 2. Multiples of 2. Numbers that can be divided by 2 or multiples of 2. Sorry, they are not only. They are numbers that can be divided by 2. Any number that 2 can divide is an even number. Other numbers could divide such numbers, but 2 must be able to divide that number. So it's not only 2 that can divide them. 2 is a major number that can divide all the numbers. So we refer to them as even numbers, or they can be referred to as multiples of 2. That is, those numbers can be divided by 2. So let's look at the definition. Even numbers are numbers that can be divided by 2. Other numbers could divide them, but majorly any number that 2 can divide are referred to as even numbers. In other words, we can refer to all these numbers as multiples of 2. they can be referred to as multiples of 2 because 2 can actually divide those numbers. Examples of such numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, etc. and so on. All these numbers that are listed here and many more are all even numbers. So even numbers are just the numbers that 2 can divide, and as you can see, they are all in multiples of 2. 2 can actually divide all this number effortlessly without remainder and without anything. So any of these numbers and many other ones you can lay your hands on are all multiples of 2, and they are referred to as even numbers. They are referred to as even numbers. That's number 1. Number 2, talk of odd numbers. Odd number. Odd numbers are numbers. Odd numbers are numbers that 2 cannot divide. Odd numbers are numbers that cannot be divided by 2. Odd numbers are numbers that cannot be divided by 2. Any number that 2 cannot divide is an odd number. You can see the difference. Even numbers are numbers that 2 can divide. So they are multiples of 2. But odd numbers are numbers that 2 cannot divide. Any other numbers can divide such numbers, but 2 cannot divide that type of number. So we refer to those numbers as odd numbers. So odd numbers are numbers that cannot be divided by 2. Any number that 2 cannot divide, other numbers could divide such numbers, but except 2, we refer to those numbers as odd numbers. We refer to those numbers as odd numbers. Example of such numbers are 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, and so on. So all these numbers and many other ones that 2 cannot divide are referred to as odd numbers. They are referred to as odd numbers. So anywhere you see any of this number, they are referred to as odd number because 2 cannot divide them. 2 cannot divide them, so we call them odd numbers. The third one is even number, is prime number. Sorry. The third one is prime number. Prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers that can only be divided by 1 and themselves. They are numbers that can only be divided by 1 and themselves. No other number can divide them except 1. No other number can divide them except 1. So prime numbers are numbers that can be divided by 1 and themselves. Prime numbers are numbers that can be divided by 1 and themselves. By 1 and themselves. No other number can divide any number that fall into this category. No other number can divide any numbers that fall into this category. Example of those numbers, examples are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, etc. Other numbers can be added, but all these numbers that I've just listed here, they are all prime numbers. Why? No other number can divide them except themselves and 1. So only 1 can divide 2 and 2 itself. Only 3 can divide 3 and 3 itself. Only 5 can divide 5 and 5 itself. And as you can see that we all have all these numbers here. All these numbers are very important in solving mathematics, and each of them have their usage in mathematics. So, but most importantly here, when you are dealing with numbers, we use the prime numbers most of the time to solve problems relating to numbers. So when you are looking for LCM, HCF, and expressing number in a product form and all that. So make use of the prime number. As we proceed in these numbers, you will see how all these numbers are being used. But most importantly, we need to define them so that we can have better understanding of all these numbers, one after the other. So that is the end on this prime number, on this number and its types. So God bless you till we meet again.